Has your passion for something or someone impacted your perspective? Too much caring can cause you to be blind to other perspectives or other people's point of view. We'll discuss caring, when we care too much, and more on this edition of Today's Antidote.
Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's Antidote features a healthy dose of thought-provoking insights and information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
Hey, Tom.
Good morning, Bob, in the car. How are you?
Good, Tom, on the ground or in your office or whatever.
Wherever I am.
Yeah, you kind of threw me this morning with that opening.
Why is that?
It was, did you say something or someone?
I did.
Okay, I wasn't ready for that. That kind of threw me.
Oh, all right. Well,
I was ready for something, but I wasn't ready for someone. But I'm looking forward to getting into the discussion.
Okay. You're squared away now? You've recovered from that?
Far from it. I'm a square block in a round with a round hole to fit in.
Okay. Well, we'll see if we can whittle away some of those edges.
Oh,
you can fit into the round hole.
Mr. Brush has brought his A game today, folks. Watch out.
No fooling around today. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's Antidote, our daily broadcast and podcast. Each day we have a conversation around a topic. This week's topic happens to be caring. And today we're going to focus on when we care too much, if that's possible. I don't know. We will explore that and more in just a few minutes. So if you happen to be listening on our podcast, or you happen to be watching this on any one of our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, or
LinkedIn Live.
We welcome your comments, thoughts, and ideas, because we know that will have an impact on the show, and we'd love to hear how you feel about the topic that we're discussing. And then at the end of the show, Bob and I will each offer our one thing, today's antidote, for the challenges that you may be facing today or may face somewhere down the line in the future, and that you can call upon this resource to help you take your next step and move forward in whatever it is you're trying to accomplish on your way or on your own unique pathway to success. So,
Tom, I got to tell you, just so you know, you do that really well. I'm so thankful you do that really well, because then I don't have to do it. I can sort of just take it all in.
Fair enough. That's good to know. And I appreciate the feedback. Thank you. All right. So every day, though, before we dive into our topic, we kick our day off with celebrations to make sure that we put our mindset in the appropriate frame to think about moving forward and not those things that hold us back. So, Bob, what are you celebrating today?
I'm going to celebrate that you do that opening so well, and you say it so calmly, and you don't have notes, and it just flows out of your mouth so beautifully every day. And I kind of take it for granted, but today I'm just paying attention to it, and it's like you're really good at that.
Thanks. Well, I guess after you've done it 566 times, or maybe not exactly that, but probably in the neighborhood of 300 to 400 times.
Easily.
I would hope I would be at least average at it.
Well, you've met your expectation and
Perfect.
Then some.
Excellent.
What are you celebrating?
I am celebrating. What am I celebrating today? Today, I'm going to celebrate the chance that I get to talk with a prospective client in a little bit, and they're looking for some help with fundraising. And one of those things that I have done quite a bit of in my day. And so I'm looking forward to the opportunity. So I'm going to celebrate new opportunities and what they might provide.
Nice. Awesome. So
what about for our renegades?
I don't have anything today. I didn't do my homework.
So it's back to flipping through the book. The book, the good book, The Renegade Way, written by some guy.
Someone complained to me about calling it the good book.
They did?
Yes. Yes.
Well, you just need to say a good book, not
A good
the
book. Yes.
good book.
A good book would be better. Yes.
All right. So, as we do, pick a number, page number, Bob.
91.
Any particular reason you chose 91?
No. Uh-uh.
All right. 91. Let's see what we have for our renegades today as we travel the renegade way. The more focused we are with who we serve, the more likely people are to help us find those people. Our clarity makes it easier for people to consider acting. They clearly know what you want, so they can attempt to help you obtain it. Sounds a little bit like they would then care about who you are, what you do, and who you're looking for.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to celebrate today, making sure that others know who we are looking to serve, to help, or the value that we have, so that if they are someone who cares about us, they can help us find those people.
I like it.
Turn that one around. How about that?
I was going to say, and while you were doing that, I figured out a very interesting reason why 91 might have worked.
Do you want to share that or no?
No, I'll share it with you later.
Okay. Now you have all of our viewers. It's kind of like when I talked about the video and you said, oh, you have to share that. And I shared it of me falling down, just as people. So if you wanted to check that out, go back to Monday's episode in the Ring of Renegades Facebook group, and you can see a video that I'm sure will turn into a meme somewhere of me completely falling on my butt. What's that?
Only one meme?
That's
I've
true.
got people working day and night on this.
They probably are, I'm sure.
I'm waiting for the week of shows that we can talk about memes and just show like 30 of them each day.
Would that be able to include the ones of you trying to dunk or touch the rim?
Yes. Still one of the best episodes.
Yes. I might have to bring that one out and just replay it. For those who are new members of our Renegade Success Network, not the Renegade Success Network, but our Renegade Success Network. So, all right, enough of this. Let's dive into our topic, because I think it's going to be a really great discussion today about caring and when we care too much. Bob, do you want to dive in on that?
Sure. I will tell you that I care too much almost all the time. And it gets in the way of me being able to do things the way I would prefer to. And that's my personal life, that's my business life. And I struggle with it a lot. I mean, that's how this topic came about, was just, this is one of the areas I really work through, and I really have to think about. And I don't think I'm alone. You know, a couple other people I've talked to in the last couple of weeks have said, you know, they care a lot, and they care about people beyond just a transactional thing. I mean, you know, I don't have any clients, and granted, I do a lot of coaching, so you get to know people. They share with you things that are personal, so it's hard to keep that distance. Harder for me, at least, but I really struggle at times with just where that line is and how far do I go. And it's only been the last 3 or 6 months where I've drawn that line differently with some people, when they've pushed it from business caring to personal caring, and I've just put up a wall and said, I'm sorry, that's not my role for you. But that's a challenge for me. That is something that I struggle with. And someone said to me a couple of days ago that, you know, caring for so many people must really be exhausting. And I've been really thinking through that and realizing how exhausting that can be.
Or rewarding.
Yes. But I think it is exhausting at times, because you take on their challenges, you take on their problems, you take on their worries. I do at times where I take them on as if they're my own when they aren't. So that can be exhausting.
Okay. Interesting.
I stumped him today.
No, it just was a different direction than I was sort of thinking. And part of me was thinking, I'm not sure we can care too much. I think it's a different perspective on it. It's It's interesting. The first thing that came to my mind when I started thinking about was because I had a lacrosse game. As some people know, I officiate women's and girls lacrosse. And so I had a game, and then I went and watched my wife officiate a game because her game was nearby and it was later. And as I usually do, anytime I'm in the stands, I listen to people who I think they care too much. And honestly, the way they talk and they yell at players, yell at officials, argue about things, I'm not sure that's the way I would describe it as caring too much. I think I'm describing it as a lost perspective. And I think that there is a difference. If we truly care, in my opinion, and we almost care, if we want to say this too much, we are very empathetic to all the things that they go through. Like this one, I hate to even admit that he's a guy. I wanted to call him a clown, but that's probably not appropriate. Was just every time a player like missed a shot, he was yelling about, well, why can't they put it on the cage? And I was like, dude, what are you talking about? And then he was saying how horrible the officials were. And I wanted to say, the officials on the field know way more about this game and the rules than you ever could, because you would never take the time to rule them. You just think you have all the answers. And I think that there's a misperception that is caring, when I don't believe that truly is caring. You may be caring about yourself and what you desire. It's not really caring about everybody else in the situation. And so I think that if we care too much, if we care significantly, we have a significant amount of care for, again, someone or something, we take all of what comes with that sometimes things don't go the way we thought. And if we truly care, we help them get through those challenges. Otherwise, it's just about it's about ourselves and what we desire, not really caring about the others in the situation and the game. And so that's where I think it's not really too much caring. It's something different. Does that make any sense?
It does. It does. Let me make this a little more concrete, because I've been in this situation 3 or 4 times. I've worked in organizations where there's an employee that is very well liked among all the employees, but they're not performing adequately.
Okay.
And decision is made that person should be fired. I've been in the room where that decision is made. It's like, yep, we need to fire this person. They're just not doing what we need them to do. We've talked to them, we've counseled them, and they drag their feet on it. In one case, it took over a year for them to actually do it, even though they had all the paperwork lined up, everything was great. In another instance, it took about 6 months because, she plans the birthday parties. She does this. She does that. She's such a team player. She's always here on time. She's always here. She works late, but she wasn't getting her work done. And what I saw in those situations was the organization cared more for the person than the role of the work. And it affected everyone's performance. It made me have to do more work in every case because this person wasn't holding up their end of the bargain. And I went from caring about this person to really not caring, because it started to really affect my time. I was doing work on the weekends. I was doing work at night that wasn't my work because it had to be done. And she would be there all the time, but she was doing the social stuff.
Okay. I guess my question would be, why does someone's performance, I guess because it has an impact on you, changes how you care about the person? Here's the thing. If the organization truly cared about the person and they had tried to help, they would say, look, this is just not the role for you. We love you as a person. You're awesome around here. And at the same time, we need to get this role needs to be handled in this way, needs to complete these tasks. So maybe there's another role out there for you. I think so often we think that we are caring for someone when we don't inform them of the challenges that they have and where they are not meeting the expectations of the role.
Right.
That I'm not sure that's caring. I actually think that you're not caring about them because you're not willing to share with them how this might not be the best place for them to work, that there might be somewhere else where their talents would be And how do we then help them? To me, that's caring. To me, it's going to someone and saying, you know what, this doesn't seem like it's the right position. You enjoy the office, not sure that you enjoy the work that you are doing in the office. What can we do to either modify your role or help you find a role that better fits and better suits what your skill set is? To me, that's caring. That's really looking out for the person. And how do we do what's in the best interest, not only for the company, again, like we talked about yesterday, or I think it was yesterday, maybe it was Wednesday or the day before, was just because you make a choice of around two things that you care about doesn't necessarily mean you don't care about the one that you don't choose. So if it comes down to a choice of the better of the organization or the better of the person, two things that whoever is making that decision probably cares passionately about. At some point, they just have to decide. And that doesn't mean that they don't care about whichever way they go. Say they choose to keep the person. Okay. That doesn't mean they don't care about the organizations. It means they just made a choice that at the moment they cared about one more than the other. And I think that that's sometimes where we miss maybe define or how we apply what caring really looks like.
Okay. All right.
Can you buy that or no?
Well,
And I would offer that in your situation, as you started to feel like you stopped caring about the person, all you were doing was you really like the person,
right.
and you really like being able to accomplish your job. Doesn't mean you just have chosen, you know what? It's becoming a real pain in my neck because I can't get my work done because this other person isn't getting theirs. And so you are making that choice. Doesn't mean that you don't care about the person. It just means that in the moment, your choice was this was more of a pain than how much I cared about the person.
Okay, I can buy that. So, Tom, with that, I don't know where to go from here other than what's your one thing today?
Well, I think, I'm just going to, before I jump to that, if that's okay,
Sure.
I think that it also relates to other things because I think that if it's a product that we like, we'll be like, oh my gosh, I couldn't live without this product. Or a customer. They spend a lot of money, but they're a real pain in the neck, right? They ask for.
Sorry.
You got friends out there?
I got friends out there.
You got lots of friends. That they at some point you do have to choose. Like, how much of a pain in the neck is this customer and how much do we value them as a customer?
Right.
And I think that just because you choose that, you know what, it's taking us a ton of time to deal with this one customer. And at that point, it doesn't mean we don't care about them. Maybe we try to help them figure out the next solution. We also just understand that we just have to make a choice.
Going through the 2 customers this week, believe it or not.
I can believe it because it's hard, right? I mean, you have 2 competing interests that you care a lot about. And yet at some point you have to choose, you make a choice around that. And, I don't think that means you're caring too much about one. It just so happens that in the moment, based on what was real, you made a decision that you had to decide between 2 things you cared an awful lot about. And I honestly believe that and maybe this is my one thing, is that I don't think we can care too much. Is the empathy, compassion, and whatever we show for people or things, it's when that caring turns into something else. And it turns into something that is more about us, which is okay, than it is about them. Just like my crazy parents in the stands. Not really.
Not your parents. Parents
No.
in the stands right. Who are crazy. Not your parents. They're
Correct.
Lovely.
Correct. It's the parents in the stands who think that they care about the game and they care about their child. And at some point that changed. And it's more about them being able to say their team won or something like that is not about caring for others. It's about whatever it is they get out of it. And I think that's when we stop caring.
I like that.
I don't know.
So me, my one thing would be you made me realize that you can care about two things that are in conflict or competing with each other. And even if you make a choice, it doesn't mean you don't care. I had this belief that if I made a choice, that meant I cared about that thing only. But I think what you said is I care about that thing more.
In the
In
moment.
that, right. I never thought of it that way. I thought it was an either or. Now you've got me thinking that it's some of this, some of that, and it's situational.
And I think that when it's so easy to go from caring to not caring, let's say your situation,
Mm-hmm.
you cared about this person, you liked them, you had a good relationship with them or whatever, and they were a nice person. They did some really good things around the office. They just didn't do the things that needed to get their job done, and
Right.
that was impacting you. And I
Mm-hmm.
think what happens is that when we make that choice, and you made the choice to say, you know what, as much as I care about this person, this is really driving me crazy and is having a significant impact on me,
Yes.
that it turns into, like, once you make that choice, it's easy to then stop caring about the person because now we have prioritized this in some ways. And so our care for that drops. And I think that's when we see, the challenges that happen because now the person's going to start to know, like, why is Bob treating me differently now? Like,
Right.
what happened?
Discussion we had over lunch one day.
Yeah, I think that, and that's what, if we can get to the point to say,
Yeah.
we get to the point where we can say, it doesn't mean I don't care about you. I care about you. And I also care about this. And I just have chosen at this point, this is what I want to care more about, and not allow that choice to diminish the care we have for the other thing. And I think we almost have to conscientiously say, I know I made this choice and this is what I care about. How do I not let that impact the care that I actually do have about the other thing? Where it gets to the point where it now turns into something where it creates different feelings inside of us that
Well,
really change.
it trust in this person. They were really hurt by it. And
Sure.
we've never talked since then, other than hi. And that's fine. But still
It is.
difficult, and it makes you think the next time something comes up that you want to hold things at arm's length and not care at all. And I find that really hard to do, to bring it full circle. I tend to care. It's hard for me not to care. It's hard for me to keep that wall up with someone.
And why? And so why is that? Why do you feel like you have to keep the wall up?
To protect myself from those hard discussions where you're talking to someone and explaining to them, and then they go, "Well, I can't eat lunch with you anymore." That's hard.
Do you control that?
I do not.
At least they know. You have made them aware of why things are the way they are.
Right.
Now it's their choice to react. And you can't control what that reaction is going to be. You can control how you share it.
Right.
And say why this has become a challenge for you. And if they choose to react in one way and continue doing things the way they did, then in reality, they've stopped caring. So clearly they cared about you.
Oh,
They cared about you, right? Because you guys went to lunch a lot.
Yep.
You shared what was real with you for you and how what was happening was impacting you. They chose a reaction, and part of their reaction was to stop caring about you.
Right. Wow. This has been a full episode. I've got an ice cream headache from thinking so hard.
We don't want to do that first thing in the morning.
I know.
All right. Well, everyone, if you have one thing you'd like to share about caring, or share your thoughts about, can you care too much? And what does that look like? Or if, you've been someone who cares too much, that you see that what ends up happening is just because you make a choice, someone else stops caring about you. It's an interesting conversation. I think interesting things to consider as we look at the relationships we have, not only with individuals, also situations. So we welcome your thoughts and ideas. Please feel free to put them in the comments, as it will likely help someone else. And you may have a completely different opinion than Bob and I, and that's fine. We look forward to hearing that. It may add value and impact to what's real for us. Just like we hope that what we shared might have added some value for you. If the other place you can share that information, sorry, I was going one direction and my mind shifted.
Yeah, I compliment you for so many things.
Then I mess it up. So if you would like to have further conversations about this beyond just the comments you share in whatever social media you happen to be on, please join us inside the Ring of Renegades Facebook group, where we're talking about this topic, caring, all week in various forms. And so you get a chance to weigh in and share your thoughts and ideas, what's real for you, because there's probably somebody in there who is desperately looking for the information you are sharing. And so we welcome you to come and be a part of that. And if you're not able to make it there, we'll see you here tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time, for our next edition of Today's Antidote, one of Bob's favorite topics of the week, parts of the week.
Discoveries of the week.
We will share our discoveries of the week talking about caring. So we look forward to seeing you then. Go out, have a great day, everyone.
Hey, embrace the renegading you and show someone you care.
But not too much.
Correct, but not too much.
Just don't stop caring if they make choices.
There you go. Easier said than done, at least for me.
There's, anything that's worthwhile usually isn't easy to do. So something to work on, to try to make progress with. Take whatever next step you can as you try to get towards the destination. All right, everyone, go out and have a great day. We will see you soon. Thanks for listening to today's Antidote, powered by the Renegade Success Network. The Renegade Success Network helps you confidently create your own unique pathway to success. To learn more about the Renegade Success Network and how you can take your next step, follow us on Twitter, connect on LinkedIn, or join the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. For full details on how you can join our community, go to renegadesuccessnetwork.com. Embrace the renegade in you.